Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the SempreMilan bonus podcast on Substack. It's been a very hectic end of 2024, going into 2025 for Milan. We've got a new head coach, and there are a lot of transfer rumours doing the rounds at the moment. We're going to go through each one and talk about building the squad under Sergio Conceição. Happy day of Fry.
Oh shit, it's Friday?
It is. You're always surprised when I say that.
Brother, I've been unemployed since November. I don't know what any day is.
You're still on that Christmas time.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be any day of the week. Well, we got a new manager. I'm still calling him a new manager, even though he's done 2 games and won a trophy. But everyone's just like, the dust's settling a little bit. The boys are back in Italy after winning the Super Cup out in Saudi Arabia. Good job. Brilliant start. And he's already enforced some new pre-match rituals. I don't know if you've seen them, but he's brought back the Retiro, the famous retreat, which means that the players no longer train at Milanello on the eve of the game. They're actually training at San Siro, which is interesting. I think it's the first time I can remember for a long time that the team has trained on the actual field at San Siro. Normally they got a load of shit all over it, but the heaters and all that to keep it. Anyway, and the team will be staying at Milanello tonight instead of going home to their families and meeting up on the day of the game. I think he just wants to ensure maximum focus, and I guess it builds a togetherness as well. It's something that was done very regularly in the pre-COVID era and by managers who achieved quite a lot with us. So some might say it's a throwback to an outdated time, but I think he's just trying to ensure like the best possible platform to build from, and I quite like it.
Yeah, you get rid of the distractions. You go home after work and all of a sudden it's, oh, what are we having for dinner? Let's take care of the kids. Let's watch a movie. Let's get on social media. And then next thing you know, your mindset's gone. So if you're there, you're with the guys, you're locked in the room, you don't have your phone. I mean, they probably have their cell phones, but they don't have access to all those, creature habits or whatever, creature comforts. And I think it just helps them stay locked in, stay motivated, and get a few wins put together, and maybe they could go home. But also, I think he just wanted to get in San Siro early because he's still has never been. So never been as our manager, obviously. He's played there quite a few
didn't he play for Inter?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. As I said, I like it. I think it's the first of not the first. Sorry, it's the latest of many things we've heard about just simple bits of organization that he's trying to change to kind of shift the mentality of the squad, and I like it because there's almost it's like come full circle in the sense that we're playing Cagliari tomorrow night. We're recording this on Friday, as mentioned, and the last time we played Cagliari, we drew 3-3 away from home, and we'd beaten Real Madrid 3-1 the game before. So you go from such a high to then Fonseca saying that he was worried about motivating the team for the Cagliari game. I think what Conceição is doing is taking all the necessary steps to make sure that the team know that anything other than a win tomorrow, kind of ruins the vibe a bit, let's be honest, because the Super Cup's nice. It's another trophy. It's the 50th trophy in the club's history. The way that we won it was brilliant, but top four's the first aim this season. It's like the minimum aim, you would say. So got to go out and do the business in the league. It's an interesting run of fixtures coming for us. Cagliari, Como, then Juve away, who will want revenge. And all this is going on in January, which brings us on to the topic of the episode and the speaking of building a platform under Conceição. He's technically only under guaranteed contract until the end of the season because there's a break clause. But he did sign a deal until 2026. However, it sounds like the management are already, prepared to kind of go all in with him and say, what do you need to build your team? And also probably to give him a bit of a reward for winning a trophy after 2 games. I think that's important as well.
Yeah.
If he does that and then says, I'd quite like this player, and they said no, then I think there'd be early friction there, So what I wanted to do is go through each of the major rumours that's doing the rounds at the moment and just talk about how it feeds into the squad that Conceição will like to build because we know that he wants to be versatile from a system point of view. We know that he likes 4-2-3-1, can be a 4-4-2, a 4-2-2-2. We've even switched to a three-man defence at times during games, so there's plenty going on there. We'll start with Rashford because we can kind of skim over this. We spoke about it on the main pod ep, so go and check that out.
Yeah.
But this one, it's not really moved along from what we talked about. It seems like we're pushing for a loan with option to buy. We need United to cover at least half of the salary. The competition from some European teams, but it seems like we're the front runners. I'm
I
still.
did see 3 minutes ago from Matteo Moretto, Barcelona are in for the same formula. I don't know how they're going to do it, but
They've only just they've basically fraudulently registered Danny Olmo,
yeah.
and now they're
So,
going for another winger.
yep,
Okay,
nothing
yeah,
like them.
right.
Yeah.
I've seen and I did think this would happen, but I've seen more Premier League clubs linked in the past, say, 24, 48 hours. I know West Ham were
I
mentioned,
was going to say West Ham, yeah.
Spurs and Arsenal.
Mm.
Now, Arsenal would be funny because they took Chelsea's scraps when they signed Sterling, who can't get a game, and then they might sign United's scraps from the same position. That doesn't make much sense to me. But it sounds like Rashford kind of fancies a move abroad. And to be honest with you, I think I'm more optimistic than pessimistic that we get this done, actually. I just think with the Okafor thing that we're going to talk about in a sec, the timing has to be linked in some way. You know,
Yeah.
you don't deplete your depth not knowing if you're going to get someone in. So I'm for it.
I am too. I think he could fit in well. I think he could play striker. We reinvent him a little bit or rehabilitate him more than anything. Um, he's not going to be starting over Liao, obviously, and I really doubt he starts over Pulisic. So either put him on the right wing and Christian down the middle, or put him as a striker and let the wingers be the wingers. I think it's a good move for us with more upside than downside because it is a loan and it is an option. So if we get a decently priced option and it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, then okay, enjoy your time back. Um, but I think this is a player entering his prime years. It's a player that's a depreciated asset at the moment, and I think we can make a really good deal. We've made it a habit to revitalize players from the Premier League, so I think we could do it again, and it's a good push forward. And it's a big
Mm.
name, and I think right now, knowing that we're done with the FFP, window or whatever, we're going to see a lot more. I don't know how to phrase it,
Risky.
ballsier moves. Yeah,
Yeah.
riskier.
Mm.
Take some chances, spend a little money.
Yeah, I think all he needs is a change of scenery. Like he's been at United since he was
His
a
entire
kid.
career.
So
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he may have just like lost his edge. Playing in a different league for a historic club, living in Italy, like it might just do it.
Hmm.
I also
yeah.
think that Premier League players who come to Italy tend to perform pretty well.
I honestly think that they find it easier, and people might shout at that opinion because, like, you'll say, "Oh, it's a Prem head thing to say," or it's like arrogant to say the Premier League's better. I'm not even saying that. I just think that they go from such an intense and not always quality league. Like you can watch some really bad Premier League games where they're just running at each other, and it's like a basketball game up and down the field. Whereas I think they come to Serie A, and it is a bit slower paced generally, and they do have more time to think about things. And I do think players kind of
Yeah,
can
I also
acclimatize to that.
think it's a style of play. Like saying
Yeah.
that play is slower in Italy is not like a dig at Italy. It's just the style that they play.
Hmm.
It's like more, I guess, build up or something. I don't know, but like there's
Mm.
definitely a difference between the style of play in England and everybody and everywhere else. Because that's why so many players go to England, fail, leave, and do great again.
Hmm.
It's just like
Yeah.
playing in England sounds horrible, honestly. Besides your paycheck, it sounds horrible.
Yeah, yeah. I'll put this to you both, and you can give a simple yes or no, or expand on it further. What if United said it has to be a dry loan? There's absolutely no way that we'll include an option to buy.
Pass.
Walk away.
Yeah, I walk away. I don't think we're in the business of revitalizing players for someone else. I don't mind if we do it and then say, he got good. It was all right, but not quite worth the money that we said we would take this option on. And then we go back. That's fine. That means we took an educated guess and we decided on our decision. But if it's just a dry loan, then I don't think it really helps us unless if we were competing for the Scudetto right now, if we were just like 6 points behind, then okay, yeah, get a dry loan in, win the title.